Most men believe women fall in love because of looks, money, status, or charm. And yes, those things may create attention in the beginning. They may spark attraction, but attraction and love are not the same thing. Attraction is immediate. Love is emotional trust built over time. That is where most people misunderstand women completely. A woman does not truly fall in love when she is merely excited. She falls in love when she feels emotionally safe, and emotional safety has nothing to do with being soft, weak, or overly agreeable. It means she feels calm around you. She feels understood without constantly having to explain herself. She feels accepted without fear of judgment. In a world where many people are pretending, performing, and hiding their true emotions, emotional safety becomes rare. And rare things are powerful. Many men think they must constantly impress a woman to keep her interested. So they perform, they exaggerate their success, they try to appear perfect. They avoid vulnerability because they think it lowers their value. But psychologically, people do not deeply connect through perfection. They connect through authenticity. A woman may admire a perfect man, but she trusts a real one. This is why presence matters more than performance. When a woman speaks, most men listen only to respond. Very few listen to understand, and women notice this immediately. They notice who interrupts them, who dismisses their emotions, who turns every conversation back to themselves. But they also notice the rare man who remains calm, attentive, and emotionally grounded. A man who can sit in silence without becoming uncomfortable. A man who does not panic every time emotions enter the conversation. That kind of emotional stability creates trust. And trust is the foundation of love. Think about it carefully. Human beings are emotionally drawn toward what feels safe and predictable. Not boring predictable, but emotionally reliable. If your energy constantly changes, if your attention disappears and reappears randomly, if your behavior depends on your mood, a woman may feel temporary excitement around you, but she will struggle. To build emotional attachment, consistency creates security, and security allows emotions to deepen. This is also why emotional control is attractive. A man who can regulate his emotions during stress communicates strength without saying a word. Anyone can appear confident when life is easy, but calmness under pressure reveals true character. Women pay attention to how a man reacts when things do not go his way. Does he become aggressive, defensive, cold, or does he remain centered and mature? Because love is not built during perfect moments. Love is tested during difficult ones. The deeper truth is this: women are not searching for a flawless man. They are searching for a man whose presence feels emotionally peaceful in a chaotic world. And once a woman feels peace in your presence, she will begin attaching her heart to you in ways logic cannot explain. Because in the end, people do not fall in love with perfection. They fall in love with the feeling of being emotionally safe enough to finally be themselves. Once emotional safety is established, something deeper begins to happen. Attraction stops being surface level and starts becoming psychological. This is the part many men fail to understand. Women are not only attracted to how a man looks or what he says. They are deeply influenced by the energy he carries, the direction of his life, and the way he sees himself when nobody is watching. A man without purpose becomes emotionally dependent on attention, and the moment a man becomes dependent on validation, he slowly loses the very quality that made him attractive in the first place. This is why desperation pushes people away. Human psychology naturally values what appears emotionally complete on its own. Not because people enjoy games, but because emotional stability signals strength, maturity, and self-respect. Women are highly intuitive when it comes to emotional energy. They can sense when a man is trying too hard to be liked. They notice when every decision he makes revolves around gaining approval. And while kindness is attractive, approval seeking is not. There is a major difference between caring about someone and emotionally depending on them to feel valuable. A man with purpose does not center his entire identity around a relationship. He has goals, discipline, standards, and a vision for his life beyond romance. And ironically, this is exactly what makes him more desirable, because purpose creates emotional gravity. People are naturally pulled toward those who know where they are going. This is why mystery also plays an important role in attraction. Not manipulation, not emotional unavailability. Real mystery comes from depth. It comes from having an inner world that is not instantly revealed to everyone. In today's world, many people overshare everything immediately because they are afraid silence will make them invisible. But constant self-exposure removes emotional tension. It leaves nothing to discover. A grounded man understands the power of restraint. He does not feel the need to constantly prove himself, explain himself, or seek reassurance every moment. There is confidence in emotional control, and confidence, when it is real, is usually quiet. Arrogance is loud because it is insecure. Real confidence is calm because it does not need permission to exist. This is where many men become confused. They think attraction is created through dominance, money, or endless attention. But lasting attraction is often built through emotional composure. A man who respects himself naturally changes the way others respond to him. He does not chase people who clearly do not value him. He does not abandon his standards for temporary validation, and he does not collapse emotionally every time he experiences rejection. That emotional independence is powerful because it communicates abundance, not necessarily abundance of money or status, but abundance of identity. It shows that his sense of self is not controlled by external approval, and psychologically, that creates curiosity in women. Because when a man values his own time, energy, and peace, his attention becomes meaningful rather than desperate. His presence feels earned, not forced. At the deepest level, attraction grows when a woman feels she is entering the world of a man who already has direction, discipline, and inner stability. Not because she wants perfection, but because people instinctively trust those who appear connected to themselves. Because the truth is, the strongest attraction is never created by chasing love. It is created by becoming someone whose life already has meaning without it. And once emotional safety and genuine confidence are present, love begins moving into its deepest stage. This is where emotional attachment transforms into emotional devotion, because women do not fall deeply in love only because a man is attractive or successful. They fall deeply in love because of how he makes them feel when they are with him. Human beings remember emotions more than events. Years later, people may forget specific conversations, places, or gifts, but they rarely forget how someone made them feel internally. Whether they felt valued, ignored, alive, invisible, understood, or desired, emotional memory is powerful. And in relationships, emotional memory often becomes stronger than logic itself. This is why small moments matter so much. Most men underestimate the psychological power of attention, not obsessive attention, not constant messaging or endless compliments. Real attention, the kind that makes a woman feel seen as an individual instead of treated like another option. Remembering something she casually mentioned weeks ago, noticing a shift in her mood before she says anything, looking into her eyes when she speaks instead of constantly searching for distractions. These small actions communicate something deeper than attraction. They communicate presence, and presence is becoming increasingly rare in modern relationships. People today are physically together but mentally somewhere else. Conversations are interrupted by phones, distractions, ego, and emotional exhaustion. So when a woman encounters a man who is fully present with her emotionally, it creates impact. She feels important without needing to compete for attention. She feels chosen without needing to beg for reassurance. That feeling changes everything because emotionally, women connect deeply through significance. A woman wants to feel that her presence genuinely affects you, not in a needy or unhealthy way, but in a sincere human way. She wants to feel appreciated, desired, and emotionally valued beyond physical attraction. And this is where many men fail without realizing it. They focus only on seduction while neglecting emotional intimacy. But attraction may open the door. Emotional connection is what makes someone stay. There is also something profoundly psychological about appreciation. People naturally move toward environments where they feel emotionally nourished. A woman who constantly feels criticized, ignored, or emotionally uncertain will slowly disconnect, even if attraction exists. But when she feels appreciated, respected, and emotionally safe expressing herself, attachment deepens naturally. And importantly, this does not require becoming someone fake or overly romantic. In fact, forced behavior often destroys authenticity. Women are extremely sensitive to emotional inconsistency. What matters is sincerity. A genuine compliment delivered with emotional honesty is more powerful than rehearsed charm. A calm touch at the right moment can communicate more than 100 dramatic words. Love is rarely built through grand performances. It is built through repeated emotional experiences that quietly say, "You matter here." That is why emotional generosity is so powerful. Not because it manipulates someone into loving you, but because it fulfills one of the deepest human desires, the desire to feel emotionally valued by another person. And when a woman consistently feels peace, admiration, emotional excitement, and sincere appreciation in your presence, love stops feeling like a decision to her. It begins feeling inevitable. Because at the end of the day, women do not give their hearts to the man who tries the hardest to impress them. They give their hearts to the man who makes them feel deeply seen, deeply valued, and deeply alive.